Hello there, and welcome to Pink Milk, your Star Wars podcast for us superfans.
And those of us who are forced to listen to them.
Today is someday, and someday we're toasting pink milk with Laura Kelly.
I do love some toast.
Not that kind of toast, Thomas, but are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's drink up.
Drink up.
Hello there, Pop Pop.
Hello there.
How are you?
I am well. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're always welcome to be had.
Good to be had.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pink Milk. I am your host, Bryan. With me, as always, is not Wendy Williams, but my better half and your better host, Thomas.
Hello.
It is a...
Hello. Hello.
It's a holiday week. It's a holiday week coming up from the time of this release. Tomorrow, if you are here in the United States, it's Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy holidays, all of the things, all of the Yuletide carols that are on the way, the snow if you're in those parts of the country or
The visions
the
of
world.
sugar plums dancing in your head. Is that too early?
I don't know what that's from.
That's the Christmas one.
Oh, okay.
Towards the night before Christmas.
I don't know.
That's all I got.
Christmas came in this household a while ago. Santa's already dropped off all of his presents.
Boom. We are like superstar parents. We're way ahead. I think we have one or two things left.
Done.
That's why we've been gone. So sorry.
Yes, speaking of gone, we apologize. We missed last week.
Sorry.
I really don't know what happened. I know that I woke up at like Tuesday night in the middle of the evening going, oh my God, we didn't record.
We have 3 children. They keep us very busy.
We've just been so busy. So, you know what? We're into our 3rd year now of podcasting here, and we have never done that before. So I'm going to give me some and you some kudos.
We do apologize, though.
But yeah, it was...
All seriousness.
It was a little embarrassing. I'm sorry to let you down.
And we missed you.
Luke got your email. He missed us. He told us we better have an episode together. So hopefully this introduction, before I have a conversation with Laura Kelly, Luke, is going to do you all right.
Sorry.
If this is your first time listening and you wanted to listen last week, but we weren't there, can I tell you that we're normally really good and we have things to say?
Sorry.
But don't take my word for it. Take our friend Joey's word for it, who went ahead and wrote us a review on Apple Podcasts. Maybe you should do the same thing. And you can hear your fancy name read all over the airwaves of all the people that listen to this show. You ready for this review, Thomas?
I'm ready.
Pink Milk represents the true light side of the Force and content creation. All of the hosts are kind, accepting, and funny.
I always think you're going to say except Tom.
And the conversations are always full of fun, thoughtful, and smart perspectives on Star Wars.
Except for Tom.
Except for Tom. Always go back to when we were on Star Wars Explained with Alex and Molly Damon, and that person said, Tom doesn't even know who Grand Admiral Thrawn is, and he has a Star Wars podcast.
Uh-huh. I do. Thanks for pointing it out.
As Joey points out here, both Pink Milk podcasts, Husband and After Dark, have something for everyone, from superfans to those forced to listen. Because the truth of the matter is, here at Pink Milk, it does not matter if you've been a Star Wars fan for 40 years or for 40 minutes. This is the show for you.
We've got a little for everyone.
We have a lot for everyone.
We have a lot for everyone.
This is like, we're at almost 150 episodes. We've got a lot.
Holy cow, I do need a raise.
Speaking of raises, earlier in the week, I posted this picture to Instagram, so go ahead and follow us on both Instagram and Twitter at Serving Pink Milk if you don't already, where you can find adorable pictures drawn by our middle son, Eli.
And we're working on a dance routine.
That's okay. Tom might be, and I might be forced to wiggle. Oh my God, that could be our TikTok handle. For those who love to dance and those that are forced to wiggle.
For those that can't dance, And those that wiggle.
Anyways, I posted a picture that Eli drew of you and I podcasting. It's very adorable. Like I said, head on over to Instagram at Surfing Pink Milk and check it out, where you can also read a lot of cute little things, including this from our friend Greg at Rebel Brace Card. He totally captures the look of Tom asking where his raise is.
See? Thank you, people. I'm still waiting for my first check. Didn't get that either.
Oh, you got a check.
Just after my name for showing up.
No. You're
No.
here, you've been here, and I am very grateful to that. And I think our listeners are grateful too, because you're pretty fantastic.
Oh, you know what? They're right. Just kidding. You're fantastic too. All of you. And you too, Bryan. You gotta have a little humor with this whole thing.
You do. And
Especially because,
I have
sometimes the topic gets pretty serious.
Well, I have to say, I mean, this last few years, the whole world has been kind of serious.
Very true. Very true.
Laura and I, in this interview that you're about to listen to, kind of touch on the pandemic and everything that's gone on. I was at the doctor earlier this week. Some of it's for some mental health things. And, I am so incredibly grateful because my doctor said this to me that I needed to hear when I heard it. So I'm going to share it with you in case you need to hear it. But I was like, I'm having a really hard time. One day it's great. The next day is not so great. A great moment, not such a great moment. And he told me a lot of people are going through that. Our world has changed. And we are all just trying to find our way in it again.
I mean, even right down to the roadways sometimes. It's become so stressful with people just driving on the road and the lack of courtesy between one another. Something as simple as that, which is not real simple. I mean, it really, it's affecting everyone.
I mean, in all seriousness, I feel that this was, if you were old enough to really remember a world before 9/11, the world has never been the same. We have never been the same in this country again after 9/11. And I'm not sure if the world's ever going to be the same again after all of this. I don't know if we know what those differences are, but, just things like you can't greet your loved ones at the gate anymore at the airport.
Well, just shaking hands. I mean, think about the other day, and the minute I got in the car, we had shook hands with someone who was super nice and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, everybody wants some hand sanitizer. I just was not even really thinking about that person. I just thought to myself, oh, we just shook hands with someone. We should put hand sanitizer on. And that's what, it's done to me, the pandemic.
Yeah. Even things as simple as those partition things in front of you in the cashier when you go to the grocery store or wherever you go. There's a loss of human connection right there. There's now a barrier between us. Honestly, Hayden Christensen, to bring it to Star Wars, is coming back in Obi-Wan, and he's been announced that he's coming back in Ahsoka in some way, shape, or form. So there's this Hayden Christensen renaissance, and people are very excited. Thank God. He's been doing some cons because cons are starting to come back, and people are getting their picture with him. But now there's our partition between the person and the viewer, the attendee, and there's a loss of connection there. It's interesting. I've been personally struggling a lot with this idea of the internet. I've met a lot of wonderful people because of this podcast. I do not ever want anyone to take any of this for granted. All of the messages, the words, the emails that I share with people, and the stories that I've heard on our show, off the show, the friends I've made in this world mean a lot. But I've been struggling with my world on the internet does not match my world in real life. And my world in real life lately has been really tough. Not inside my four walls of my house. Everything's perfect and wonderful here. But the minute I get outside work or my family or whatever, it's been a real struggle. And the pandemic has only made all of it worse. But then I go online or I talk to my pink milk people and it's great. And it's just been this really rough juxtaposition is kind of messing with my head. And so I got to figure this out.
And you will.
I will. Thank you. And any of you out there struggling, you will too. Mm-hmm. This is just, I've been really open. I was not on social media a lot. I think I talked about it with Laura. I was not on social media a lot before all this happened. And so it's a very new world to me. And maybe this is just my adjusting to it, I don't know. But, it's really important. I don't want to be nervous talking about mental health or any of those things because I really think we need to normalize that conversation. And it's okay to admit that you're struggling. It doesn't mean you don't love your partners. It doesn't mean you don't love your friends. It doesn't mean your partners or your friends or your husbands or your wives are not giving you enough. It doesn't mean your children are not giving you enough. We're all here. And I spoke about this on the last After Dark a little bit, but this idea of attachment has been coming up. Maybe it's because Anakin's coming. People just are talking about it more again, and the Jedi's idea that attachment is bad. And I feel like I just don't think that's right, and the Jedi were wrong. And I think it's pretty much at the end of that movie in Attack of the Clones, Yoda's like, shrouded by the dark side we've been. Like, clearly it's not right. But it's people's attachment to one another that's been pulling us through this pandemic, because Lord knows how lonely you'd be if you didn't feel like you had anyone.
Very true.
So, if you ever feel like you don't have anyone, you can reach out. And I'm figuring this out. And send me a message if you just need someone to listen to you. I'm here to listen. Sound good?
Sounds good. I'm going to call you.
You can talk
hey, honey,
to me
I'm downstairs.
But in all seriousness, reach out if you need to. I'm always here. I'm sure Tom will be there too if you need to talk to him.
Absolutely.
He's not on social media, so don't reach out to him.
But I can be gotten.
You can be gotten.
I'm always found.
You can be had.
I can be had. I'm always around.
A lot of people have had you.
In their ears.
All right. Well, with that, I am looking forward to this interview that you're about to hear. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Time to drink up.
Drink up.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome our friend of the show, Laura Kelly, from all of the big internet things, Force Toast, the Jedi Way, and Schmoedown, all of the great things. How are you, my friend?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me back, Brian. I'm looking forward to this.
I am too. I think I should have looked, and then I forgot, but I think y'all were on episode 32 or something.
Yeah, it was super early days for you guys. That was such an honor to be one of your first guests. It was so fun.
Thank you. It was an honor to have bigwigs for our first guest. And I think we're at I think this is going to be episode 146.
Holy shit. Oh my. Yeah, so you get up to those big numbers when you do a show more often than Alice and I do, because we were every other week, and now we're just kind of when we have a free weekend, which sometimes is once a month, sometimes it's every 3 weeks. So we're only on episode 69 is going to be our next one, which is fun. I'm sure there'll be some fun. We've already gotten like funny emails from people about it. I'm like, good God, it's gonna be so dumb and immature. But yeah, that's it. We're still in double digits.
No, that's great though. And 69, just stay there.
Right?
I feel like
we could just stop after that.
I mean, I like to stay there for a while. It's usually a good time.
Yeah, why not?
Well, we've already got there. This is After Dark, and we're already thirsty and inappropriate. It's great. Thank you.
Get ready for another hour of this.
So how are you, my friend? We have the holidays coming up. At the time we're recording this, Turkey Day is around the corner. We have Christmas for those that celebrate Christmas. And I guess those of you that celebrate Thanksgiving now. I get confused because Emma lives in Canada, so they had Thanksgiving earlier.
Okay.
I should be a good friend and know when that earlier was, but I'm not, and I don't. So
hey, we have enough holidays to keep track of here, so no judgment.
Do you have any big plans for the holidays coming up?
Not really. Nothing for really Thanksgiving. Normally we have friends or family come into town, but that's not happening this year. So it's going to just be me and her hanging out. And neither one of us are big like Thanksgiving meal. Like we're not big turkey fans. So we'll probably just like make pizza or something. I don't know. Or like order in something. But we have tickets to go see Sister Act on stage here on Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. And right now that's our only Thanksgiving planned. And I'm looking forward to that.
I think that's really great. That's
pumped.
awesome.
Yeah.
Last year we did, so before Tom and I had kids, like we used to have like 30, 40 people over. Like it was like a big to do. It was a very gay Thanksgiving. It was fantastic. And then we had kids, and most of our friends, gay men, now in their 40s and 50s, the first thing out of their mouth was why.
Yeah.
And then they stopped talking to us.
They're like, you know what? I'm busy this year.
So now it's just the 5 of us. That's what it's dwindled down to. But last year we had like Skype Thanksgiving. It was great. I really hope we do that again, because I have to say it was kind of fun.
Yeah,
we timed our dinners.
We did that for Christmas last year, and I'm like, God, this is so nice to not have to travel. Like, we get to sit here and enjoy our own tree that we put up. Like, normally we're somewhere else for the holidays. I'm like, it kind of wasn't that bad, you know? Like, I gotta admit, there might be something to it.
And then you can pretend like something's happening off screen. You're like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go. This when it got boring, you're like, oh. Something that's a benefit to having 3 kids. Oh, somebody's crying.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure what I would use to like, oh, there's like construction happening. We can't hear you. Oh my God, sorry.
And now you just, I'm
Day?
stopping. Yeah. Speaking of Christmas, do you have any Christmas ornaments? Because it's a big discussion here in this house.
I have lots of Christmas ornaments. I don't actually have a ton of like. God, I may not have any Star Wars Christmas ornaments, but I have like a handful of Harry Potter ones. I have like 1 or 2 Hunger Games ones. And then, oh, you know what? My cousin did make me like a baby Yoda, but like out of clay, and then it got glazed, and it's pretty like basic looking baby Yoda. It kind of actually looks more like Yoda, if you will, but it's pretty cute. That's the only Star Wars ornament I have. Yeah.
So this year I bought a blow up. I only put inflatables because I'm gay and I think they're really tacky. So the only way they happen is if they're Star Wars, because I'm probably more of a nerd than I am gay. So I'm like, okay, this is where it happens. The children are always upset, except for Michael. And our Christmas tree topper is Yoda. And Beautiful. It has been a source of contention for like 12 plus years. Like
Wait a
Tom
minute.
and I
do your other kids not like it because they're like they find it like embarrassing? Because are these inflatables like outside, like in the yard? Oh yeah, okay.
No, just because it's Star Wars. But but the Christmas tree topper is also Yoda. Like I have like when Tom and I bought it, and Tom, as everyone who listens knows, is very Catholic, and he's like a lot more religious than I am, which wouldn't take much. But I found this Yoda Christmas tree topper. And he's like, no, that's for an angel.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, yeah, okay. A Jedi will kick any angel's ass real quick. So, like, if she was there or he was there, they're just gone now. But anyways, Now the rest of the family is embarrassed by this Christmas tree topper. And it's 12 years old. It's all broken up and looks like trash.
Do you have, like, one of the pre-lit ones? Like, mine's pre-lit, yes. And it's not so much lit anymore. Yeah, I feel that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But, they're expensive. They're like $400 or $500. And
yeah.
Until it's all the way broke, I don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've got pretty tall ceilings, and my sister was talking about wanting to get a new Christmas tree last year, and I did like there's like a sort of have you ever done like a buy nothing group? There's like this sort of like, I've talked about this on my show, but it's like a community of like free swapping, trading, but everything's like free. You can't charge for anything. And so somebody was like giving away their Christmas tree, and they're like, it's like a 7-foot tree. We had a 6-foot tree, but it wasn't 6 feet tall because I'm 6 feet tall, and this tree was not as tall as I am. And so I was like, cool, I'm going to go get this 7-foot tree. It's going to look so much better in a living room. The fucking thing is like barely 6 feet tall. I'm just like, what is with this? Like, Christmas trees are just not, they're not measured the same way as humans, apparently. Yeah. It's just bizarre. But so it's a little taller. It's not a lot taller. It's definitely not a foot taller.
They're probably, maybe it's like Smurf talk. They're, they're people that Smurfs are 3 apples tall. Yeah. So these are like 7 elves tall. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is.
That must be what they're going for, because something's not matching up.
I love it. So I have those of you who don't know you that listen to us, which you should, because she's great.
Aw.
Who is Laura Kelly? Now that we've talked about Christmas, you're not a huge Star Wars ornament person. You're 6 feet tall. Trees are short.
You have the basics.
Mhm.
Well, so I host a show with my friend Alice, Forced Toast to Star Wars Happy Hour, and we drink wine and talk about Star Wars, and that's kind of the gist of it. We're big readers, so we like to talk about all of the new books that are coming out, but we're also very behind on our reading, so we need to get caught up. It's on the list. And then I host a show with John Roca called The Jedi Way, where we just talk about like big picture concepts in Star Wars. And then besides that, I compete in the Schmoedown, but my season is over for the year, so it's not top of mind for me anymore. I'm looking forward to the break that I have from all of the trivia nonsense. But besides that, I live in Chicago and I work in finance, and I work from home now for the most part with the pandemic, and that's been a fun adjustment. And yeah, I'm originally from Kansas City. I'm trying to think of like what other highlights there are. I think that kind of covers it.
I like it. I like it. So, if I remember correctly, tracing back to the beginning of your show, like you and Alice met through trivia. So you were like Star Wars trivia people first, right? Because
We
trivia
were.
it's a big part of your show.
Yeah.
It's great.
We met at like pub trivia here in Chicago, and there's we're lucky that there used to be at least tons of them going on at any time, and there's lots of themed trivias, and so whenever there was a Star Wars one, we would both end up there. We crossed paths a couple of times before we actually met, and then that was how we met, was at a bar, and we like shut down the bar that we met at and talked Star Wars all night, and it was so fun.
I love it. That has to be like that's something that came with this show.
Mm-hmm.
Lots changed for both of us since our let's just run with episode 32. I don't really remember what it is, but let's just run with that
Sure.
for this episode. Like you've grown a lot, like you're like internet celebrity famous now all over the place
Oh
with
no,
like,
that's not true. I don't think that's true at all, but thank you.
No, you have your own light up lightsaber with like a cool like graphics. Like that's big time.
It is kind of fun, actually. When I first saw that, I was like, "Holy shit, that's awesome!"
But like I've learned, like I think it was our first year during Pride that I realized I had never spoken to Star Wars with another gay person ever before. Like it had never happened, and I was 40. I was like,
my. Yeah,
this is great. It was awesome, right?
yeah,
And then the show would go on. I'm like, oh, I don't think I ever really got to talk Star Wars ever with anyone. Like it was just became my reality, so I didn't think much of it. I had friends, like in high school, I had like a toy collecting friend, but like I like to get nitty gritty deep. Like let's get into the emotions. Like that's the kind of Star Wars jam that is like right up my alley.
yeah.
And I never had it before, and now I have all these friends that like I can like do that with. It's amazing. And now I found all these gay people, and it adds like a whole other element. And I hear similar things a lot of times with like a show like yours when it's two like female co-hosts or two female Star Wars people, which until recently you didn't hear it ever.
There wasn't.
And now when you do hear it, it's always equal parts like nastiness for whatever stupid reason.
Yeah.
But that had been pretty cool that night.
It was really fun. It was really cool. And I was still like very new to the fandom at that point. I mean, that was like, I guess that was, maybe it wasn't that new, but I was still somewhat new. And that would have been like 2018 maybe that we actually met. Because our show didn't actually launch until like 2019. And I'm sure we worked on it for a long time beforehand, like trying to figure out what exactly we wanted it to be. So we must have met in 2018. But yeah, it's been quite a ride, and I think that's really the biggest advantage of like the content creating community is that like you meet people that you just would have never otherwise met. I mean, we've got like friends all over the world now, and it's so wild to think about that. And it was really an advantage during the pandemic when like you couldn't leave your home. Like it was so nice to be able to like, we'll just do a virtual happy hour and like sit and chat with people and like talk about Star Wars and try and forget about this horrific mess that the world is in. And like we
Yep.
had just an unlimited amount of people that we could do that with at any time. And, you know, even just like DMing back and forth with people on Twitter was like so hugely helpful in keeping me sane, I think, through the pandemic. So it's been, yeah, like the being a content creator like has a lot of advantages, but this in 2020 and 2021 specifically, it was huge.
I agree. I want to actually spin off. I want to ask you a question because I know on Force Toast you've talked about mental health and stuff actually a lot. So like one, thank you for that because like it does help normalize everything and it's great to hear things brought up in a show that you listen to for one reason, but then you get a little like tidbits of other things. That's one of the great things about podcasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the longer form content creation stuff. I think like recently, I mean, I've been going through a bout of it,
Yeah.
my own things, and some of it is exactly what you're speaking to. And I do not want to sound ungrateful to people that like we are friends with and that we've met through this whole thing. But there is this veil, and some of it's my age too. And I was not on social media before 2019, like not really. I was on Facebook with people that I actually interacted with, like human to human connections, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so great. I love all of the connections that you make, but there's this weird thing that all of a sudden that there's a level of like, it's not real. And I do not want that to be disrespectful because I don't mean it in that way at all. But like, I have found myself being able to be more open and connect with people. One here, probably because I'm in my house, I feel very comfortable, even though we're other places, right? But I can't always make those connections in real life. It's this really weird like thing within me that is like sparked up. You're younger than I am, so you grew up more in social media probably, right?
I mean, like when it came to things like instant messaging, that came around when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old. And so that has been, you know, a part of my, like the internet's been part of my life for
Mm.
the vast majority of my life. In social media, I've like kind of come and gone from like, I mean, Twitter, I had like a period of probably like 10 years where I didn't use Twitter. Like I was an early adopter and then I just like went away. But I think I totally understand what you're saying because I think in a lot of ways, it can feel very surface level, like those relationships that you build online. And in some ways, there's advantages to that because it's like, yeah, you don't actually, you know, a lot of times you don't know who that person is on the other end. And maybe that keeps you a little bit safer. At least maybe that's how I think of it sometimes. But, you know, once you can sort of get into those, you know, maybe it's like a time thing, or maybe it's just like a, you know, innate connection that you may or may not have with somebody. Like, I think that can be just as valuable as like real life friendships. And when it comes to um seeing those people at like Star Wars Celebration, I think that that's like really it somehow it just like clicks and it works, and like getting to like see all those people, like it just, I don't experience that social anxiety that I think I otherwise would in that sort of
Mm.
situation. I know that like when it comes to Schmoedown stuff, I sometimes like that community has like really embraced me and I'm really grateful for it, and I've had a lot of fun interacting with those people. But sometimes when it comes to like that in-person stuff, I feel like I seize up in that situation where I just get like, I feel super like socially conscious or like self-conscious, and like it just, that anxiety just starts to seep in. And maybe it's just like, you know, your level of comfort in different situations, but that's kind of what I've found the situation to be for me. And it's hard, you know, like, and maybe part of it's like the pandemic has just ruined who I am and how I socialize with people. But I think part of it is just, it's just me, I think.
No, but I think it's true. Like, I mean, maybe some of it. I've never been to a Star Wars celebration. I've been to like San Diego Comic-Con numerous times, but it's a much bigger thing. I've never been in like such a focus on Star Wars, you know? And
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous of that too, because I think in real life, I mean, girl can talk. I know I like to talk. It's all of those things. But again, like I said, this is my house, and so it's very different. And this is also
Yeah.
now kind of like we have to talk. We have a podcast or a YouTube show, like that's what we have to do. In real life, I'm a wallflower and I like to watch, and I am like a major observer. And I'm like, oh God, how
Well,
do I
that
keep this up? What if I disappoint people? What if they
Oh yeah, no, I totally get that. But also if you're like a people watcher, like holy shit, Comic-Con, isn't it amazing to just go and like sit and people watch at Comic-Con? Um
Oh,
Question about that though, were you there in 2018? Did you go to Comic-Con in 2018?
no, the last time I went was 2016.
Okay,
Because Jack
gotcha.
moved in at the end of 2016, and then so
Okay.
I never went again.
That was the only year that I've been, and I was gonna say, I'm like, there was like a whole day of like a lot of Star Wars stuff, and I was like, holy shit, we were probably in the same room at some point, but like, no, that I guess that wouldn't have been the case.
I do. I mean, San Diego Comic Con's fun, and I spent a lot of time like at indie creators and like the smaller stuff, so I got to know. And then there's always like this like gay centric like you know Grinder is meeting a whole new different kind of reason. We're like, oh, we're in the room. It's not what it's normally used for, but it was there, and it was great. It was so much fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Star Wars Celebration. I think, other than the anxiety of, oh God, can I keep up like?
Yeah,
Not that I'm not.
that's the nice thing though. It's like you don't have to. It's like when
Yeah,
especially when you're like going to panels all day, like you really don't have to be on
yeah.
all day. It's like it's really when you get to like the evening, but then that's like the best part. I mean, like when you get to the evening and it's like there's like a hotel party happening somewhere and you just it's like you arrive and you just have friends everywhere and it's amazing. It's so much fun. And yeah, like I still sometimes get like a little bit of like I sometimes get like a little bit overwhelmed where it's like too much socializing where like I learned my at the last celebration I'm like yeah I need to probably learn a little bit of like boundaries in terms of like giving myself a night off to just sit in the
Hmm.
hotel room and watch TV. And Alice and I did that because Game of Thrones I think was on at that time. And so like everybody was like in their room on one night to like watch Game of Thrones. But so that was our lay low night. But yeah, that was one of those things I kind of learned the hard way. I'm like, I need to give myself more time away, I think, from the big crowds at Celebration. So it's all about finding a balance, you know?
Yep. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, and I shouldn't really put out there that they're gonna. I'm pretty much myself, but you don't have to be on the same way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Tell me what it's been like for you growing with that community, because we started you started a little bit before me, but if you started in 2019, we started right around the same time, and now you are kind of all over the place. Like, how did all of that happen?
Probably the Schmoedown is really the culprit there to blame for
Yeah.
everything. I mean, like with the fact that we were doing trivia on our show and that opportunity at Star Wars Celebration 2019 came about right around the time that we were starting our show. I mean, Celebration, we launched in February. Celebration was at the middle of April. And whatever timeline was in between there, that was like where I like replied to a tweet from Christian Harloff where he was talking about there being a trivia competition at Star Wars Celebration. And I was like, hey, you're coming to my city, dude. Like, this is my turf. Can I get in on this? And he was just like, this isn't pub trivia, just so you know. I was like, no, I know. I'm familiar with your whole game, dude.
Yeah.
And it just kind of snowballed from there. So the getting to meet the group of people that I've met through the Schmoedown who are also content creators but also in different spaces. So it's like it's so much more broad than Star Wars, with the
Mm-hmm.
exception of like Alex Damon, who's like huge in just Star Wars. It's like there's all these other content creators that are kind of general nerd stuff, and that's been kind of fun to make those connections because those people have they can talk about lots of stuff, whereas they'll come to me and be like, do you want to come talk about this Marvel thing? And I'm like, not really. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna sound really stupid, but it's challenged me in fun ways, and I've had opportunities to get to talk about other stuff, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But with Star Wars, it tends to work best, I think.
That's awesome. What is that like to grow with Star Wars? Kind of, I mean, if you kind of hop back into fandom in like 2017, 2018, you said, right? Like all of this happened like really quickly afterwards. So from the outside, it feels like your love of Star Wars kind of grew up with all of these other things. Like it's all a part of Star Wars, if that makes sense.
Kind of, that was kind of the case. I mean, I got into Star Wars like in 2014, 2015
Okay.
is where it really started for me, where I like sat and watched all the movies, and then I started watching Star Wars Rebels because I wanted to be seeing the new thing when everybody else was also seeing the new thing. And that, I think, really solidified my place in the fandom, because that's where I started to really feel the camaraderie. I was in the same boat as everybody else. We didn't know what was going to happen in the story, and it was really, really fun getting to take that journey with those people. So they were like, the Star Wars Rebels specific fandom at that time was really like, that was my niche, and it was really rewarding and really fun, sort of learning how to make friends in the social media space, in the like Star Wars Twitter space, when it was a little bit more like refined and filtered. It wasn't like it wasn't as broad, as the Star Wars fandom in general. And I found it was a lot more like positive, like there weren't a bunch of people who were fans of Star Wars Rebels that were like knocking the show. I mean, people were loving the show at that point.
Yep.
And it was just nice to have that thing in common with everybody. And part of that, even like at one point I was like on Reddit a lot reading it. And then I started like recognizing people from Twitter and Reddit. And I was just like, oh, I know you.
That's great.
That was fun.
I wish I was on during those times, like, or Clone Wars times. Like, I was so alone in Clone Wars because the one or two people that were like, I go see all the movies, nobody was watching Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Like, no one knew who Ahsoka Tano was for so long. Like, it's like this weird thing to now that, like, I love it too. Like, not everyone, a lot more people know who she is now, like, which is so great. It's like, but I'm with you, because that was kind of what Tom's excitement. So like, Tom's always my go-to for what like the real world is like. And he was really excited for The Mandalorian for that very same thing. And so I love talking to him as people are being brought in, because you have one side of fandoms like doesn't like it, another side loves it. And then there's people like, are you going to be confused by it? And so far, The Mandalorian's been doing a great job of bringing in obscure characters to a general audience, and they don't feel like they're missing anything, which is awesome.
It is.
I think I feel that way with, like, to me, I've said this so many times, I am now living in a post-Visions world. Like, I loved Star Wars Visions, like, so incredibly much. Literally, we were talking before, I showed up an hour early because I don't know how to do time zones, but you know what I got to do? I watched Akakiri, The Ninth Jedi, and Obi-Wan, and that's what I filled up with my time with. It was great. And The Ninth Jedi is like every single thing in Star Wars that I want.
Oh, same.
All the time.
I love The Ninth Jedi. That was my favorite one of all those.
It's like, it's just new Star Wars for everyone. Like, it's different. Ronin, I love that book. So I know you said you're falling behind, but you should really read Ronin. I found it, I'm not the greatest reader in the world. Like, admittedly, I found it a hard book to read.
Okay.
But I was drawn in the entire time. And then I had the pleasure to speak with Emma, and they're just like brilliant anyway. So I'm like, okay, you're one of those people that I always feel like a little intimidated by, but I'm also completely inspired by. And that's how I felt by that entire book. I was intimidated by it, but inspired by it the whole way through. And
that's an amazing review. I mean, I've had so many people talk to me about that book, and I really want to read it. And I will get there eventually. Yeah. Right now I'm reading Thrawn. I'm reading the Thrawn Ascendancy book 2, because book 3 came out, and naturally here I am behind reading book 2 still. But it's like, those books are long, and it's like, it's dragging a little bit. Like, I love the first Thrawn trilogy, the first canon Thrawn trilogy. So much. And I was really looking forward to this, and I'm like, oh boy, it's dragging a little bit. So I'm not going to abandon it, but I think once I finish, instead of going directly into book 3, I think I'm going to go read something else.
Break it up a minute.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I've never read the Thrawn books because, I grew up, I read the first time we met Thrawn, and he was the least interesting part of the book for me. I find him to be so boring. Like, I like him, and I think what they did, how they used him in Rebels was like great, because he was peppered in.
Mm-hmm. Because
I think too much Thrawn, I just want to go to sleep. And no shade to anyone who loves Thrawn, because Lord knows Thrawn's got some like massive fans out
He does.
And so I love to listen to them talk about Thrawn, but like I don't know if I have interest in these books. And I know that sounds really probably horrible, but
Well, no, and see the thing about like I would encourage you if you enjoyed his presence in Star Wars Rebels to at least read the first Thrawn canon book, because that's like, since it connects so much to Rebels. But I think the other advantage of that book is that you don't just have Thrawn, you have like you have this character Eli Vanto, who, one of the reasons I really like the Thrawn books is that he's very like Sherlock Holmes-esque in his kind of like vibe and his abilities to like make deductions about things. And when you have the first Thrawn book, or that first Thrawn trilogy, and you have a lot of Eli in there, you've got Holmes and Watson. And I don't think Holmes works as well by himself without the Watson character, which I think is part of my issue with this Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy. Is I'm missing, there's a hole there that hasn't been filled by anybody else and any other characters in the new books, at least so far. Again, I'm only on book 2, so maybe we get that person eventually. But I think that's why the first trilogy works really well, because Eli's an incredibly endearing character. So it's
That's
definitely
great.
one to go back and revisit, at least start it, see if you can get into it. But yeah, that's my encouraging thing for anybody who's hesitant about Thrawn.
I do, but that works really, really well. Like, there's an element to Star Wars. I need Star Wars to be fun. Like, I just have to have that fun moment. Like, that to me is like at the heart of it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm also feel the same way about Ahsoka. Like, I'm a little bit nervous about this Ahsoka show. And if anyone's listened to the show more than 5 minutes, they know like how much of a stand for her I am. But I think Ahsoka works for me. Like, she was great in Rebels.
Yes. 1000%.
Like, amazing how she was. I loved her episode of Mandalorian. Like, I loved it. I don't know if I'm just so concerned that it's gonna be too much, and I think she works better being the person who comes into a room and builds other people up. And if that's what we can do a whole series of, I'm here for it, and I'm excited, but I'm really nervous.
Yeah. I mean, and I think I agree in that she works really well in that role where she's not the lead and she's sort of, there to kind of serve another character's story. I think that works really well. But, I mean, she carried the Clone Wars for like X amount of years, or not really, I mean, exclusively, but for the most part she did. And I'm kind of excited to get back into that, just because if Dave Filoni is part of it and he gets to control her story and her journey and where it goes, I don't think that I have any reason personally to be hesitant about anything. I have full faith in him to do the right thing with her, I think. And at least that's what I think that I think. That's what I'm trying to talk myself into.
I agree 100%, because that is like my, like, so I don't get on cranky hill of I don't want this. Like, he's behind it and I trust him. Like, I love him. I know there's now this new sprouting like anti-Filoni business.
Good God.
I stand. He is my favorite. Like, he is the greatest gift that Star Wars has ever been given. Like, he understands Star Wars now. He was George's, like, one of the things I love about George and one of the things I miss about George is kind of like George's middle finger up at everybody around him. And like, he was a child of the 60s. Like, he grew up F you to everybody. I'm going to do my own thing. And I feel like Star Wars has lost that a little bit lately.
The ability to stick its middle finger up.
Yeah. And be like, kind of, no, this is what we're doing. And it's like the little thing I'm a little bit of that kind of a person too. Like, in all honesty, like, I'm a little bit of a middle finger up to like, don't tell me what to do. I think that's part of being queer and all of those things too. We have to, it's part of being 5'4" and a guy. Like, you have to like, just be that way a little bit,
Yeah.
And
do you think in Star Wars that Star Wars Visions was a little bit like that? Do you think it was a little bit of a middle finger to everything?
I do, and I think that's probably part of the reason I love it. I think Ronan was a little bit of that. Like, no. You're not going to tell me what Star Wars is. I'm now just going to go make my own universe. Yeah. And I think all of those things understood Star Wars in a way that I had missed in a long time. Like, I'm a Force person. I love The Mandalorian. I'm still convinced. I've been convinced since probably chapter 3 of The Mandalorian that Din Djarin is Force sensitive. I think everything is leaning towards that direction, and we're about to have the rightful heir to that darksaber in a Mandalorian that is Force sensitive, and it's like circle back, and I am standing on that hill. I think, speaking of Rebels, I haven't said this in a while, so I get major Kanan Ezra vibes when they met, when Grogu and Din meet. Like, there's like that energy there. And I am convinced. I am convinced. That is why Ahsoka said he doesn't need anyone but you. You
Aw.
understand his power. You might not know you do yet, but you do. Because that's how I've always read it. And until I am flat out told that it is not possible, I will continue to stand on the hill.
All right.
But I also, I know not everyone wants that. And I try to be cool. But I think in that show, yeah, Mandalorian's a little bit middle finger up too, actually, a little bit. I think having Luke Skywalker pop up and he's still the bad guy at the end of that moment for me, I think that was an FU moment, kind of.
See, I kind of see it the opposite way. I kind of see that as like, I saw Luke Skywalker as like them sort of acquiescing to what fanboys really wanted, was giving us that violent Luke Skywalker who, after we just walked away from Return of the Jedi, where he's the one who throws away his saber when in this confrontation with the Emperor and Vader. And I'm like, that there was a little bit of a disconnect there for me. And there was a little bit of, did we really need to bring that character in? We couldn't have let all of these characters that in this amazing episode stand on their own 2 feet. But I say that as like a huge Bo-Katan fan, and I could have just had an entire episode of like just her and nothing, which I kind of did. There was a lot of Bo-Katan content in season 2, which I really appreciated. But that's my personal opinion, is that he didn't necessarily need to be there. But I love that people were so excited about it. I love that that the enthusiasm and the energy that brought to the Star Wars fan, like people were so like riotously happy, and that was fun to get to watch, to get to see the fandom kind of appreciating this one thing together in the same way.
I feel that way with Boba Fett, because like Luke, I am not, my vision, my opinion on Luke in that scene is not well loved, and I'm very aware of that now. Like, I guess, like, to me, like, once you go down a dark path, forever it will dominate your destiny is a line that's often ignored. So that was, to me, I think Luke has those demons chasing him now. Like, and I feel like that's what brought Luke to The Last Jedi. One of the reasons I loved that Luke. I was like here for it. Mm-hmm. I here for all of those things. I think this was a good step towards that. But I do have to say, Bo-Katan in this, I'm loving Clone Wars era Bo-Katan coming back.
Yeah.
She's kind of untrustworthy. I was like, oh, that's my favorite version of Bo-Katan. You love her 1 minute and nope, never mind.
Yeah, it's like maybe you don't trust her too much. I think you make a really good point though with Luke Skywalker. That's something I hadn't thought of and that I hadn't considered. And I think you make a good point that Yoda line comes into play in that finale of Mandalorian.
I mean, I also like, we just talked about some of this, but like, I just think it was so wrong to take Grogu from Din. And I think, and that's my own personal journey, like really reading into that, but that's what Star Wars is all about, I think. Like, but Grogu finally had someone to love him. And now we see this Luke who's just like kind of as cold as like all the Jedi were. And he's like idolizing the Jedi at this point, because to him, he hasn't recognized that hubris that he knows. Like, I want him to somehow realize that the wrong thing to do is take Grogu away from like a father figure.
Yeah.
And this little child who never had that.
And maybe that will happen, because I'm like, can you imagine The Mandalorian without Grogu? I mean, like, who the hell wants to watch that? Yeah. Besides like hardcore Star Wars fans that don't really care about who's in it. They just want amazing Star Wars content, which is what The Mandalorian is. But I'm like, I can't imagine. I just can't. I'm like, so many people I feel like would just be like, I'm not going to watch this show without Baby Yoda. Like, I mean, there's tons of casual fans I feel like that are going to approach it that way. So if he's gone, in Mandalorian, like in the season 3, episode 1, I don't think he's gonna stay that way. Like, I think we are gonna probably come back to that, you know?
I mean, he might be gone for a while, but I think his absence will be very much a part of the show. So, like, even though he's physically not there, he's emotionally very, because
Oh yeah,
Din
yeah,
Djarin is not Din Djarin without
yeah,
Grogu. Like, Din Djarin needs him just as much as Grogu needs Din. Like, they are tied together. They are a father and a son.
yeah.
And Din Djarin's not going to die anytime soon. So this
No.
is also an opportunity to see a great father-son relationship where hopefully nobody needs to die. Like, they could just grow up.
Yeah.
But I do think I was really excited for Boba Fett when Boba Fett showed up, because I'm like, I got lots of Boba Fett stuff, but it's because
You
his
do.
armor's cool.
I can see that. Yeah.
But I'm not this Boba Fett. I was not that person. I'm not straight enough to, I think, love Boba Fett the way some people do. No tea, no shade, but he just looks great. He's rad. But then we met Boba in Clone Wars. Fascinating. And then we got him in this. I was like, oh, I'm here for this. So that was my excitement, because everyone was just jammed on Boba for all sorts of reasons. Those who hated him before, they got a great character, so they were super excited. And like the people who just love him because why, I don't know, but they do. Like, we're happy. And that was like my moment. So I'm surprised how quiet like the Book of Boba Fett has been.
Like the reaction in terms of the fandom, or like
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of one of those people, because I'm at a point where I haven't revisited The Mandalorian in a while, and I really need to before the Book of Boba Fett comes out, because I'm like, I remember that everyone was really excited about this and that was really cool, but I'm like, I'm trying to remember why I'm supposed to like love this character again, because I'm mostly just excited to see Fennec Shand again. Like, I don't really know how much I really care about Boba Fett. So I need to go back and watch that whole season again, just to kind of like reiterate that. But I do remember like how interesting it was to be on Star Wars Twitter at that time when people were really coming around on Boba Fett, because I was and kind of still am one of those people that's like indifferent for the most part. But like to see people be like, I was wrong. I was totally wrong. I thought Boba Fett sucked, and he definitely does not. And so I was wrong, and I admit that. And that was fun to watch, I think. Not because I was like vindictive about it, be like, haha, now you know. It was just fascinating, you know?
Yep.
And I think it was a great step in the right direction for the fandom in general. Now, obviously, not every fan saw that or interpreted it or learned from it in the way I think I wish everybody had. But I thought that was a valuable moment, I think, for fandom.
Like, I agree. I think that's where Dave Filoni shines, and I feel like that's why he's so good for right now, because I think Dave Filoni intrinsically understands what George was trying to do and what he's trying to say with Star Wars. But I also think because Dave Filoni was a fan, he understands how to bring in what fans want, give them a sprinkle of what they thought they were going to get, and then kind of turn it on its head after that. Like, I think he's really great at that balance. Like, I'm just like, I'm not someone who, I don't need Star Wars to be what I want it to be. Like, I'm the opposite. I love the prequels, and I've always loved prequels because they didn't give me what I thought I was going to get. And I was really jarred by it. And I think the greatest art is something that jars you and gives you a perspective you didn't think you were going to get, and it forces you to like recontextualize everything you knew before. Like, I'm here for all of that. And I think that's what The Mandalorian did in a lot of ways. They really humanized Mandalorians in a way that they were never really humanized before.
Yeah, I agree. I
know?
agree. Even with the Clone Wars, you're totally right. Because it was just a different vibe in the Clone Wars, and it was a little bit more broad because there were a lot more Mandalorians to contend with. But I think you make a great point about Dave Filoni. I mean, the man's just a really good storyteller. He knows how to tell a good story, and part of that is maybe just like who he is as a person. Part of that is, you know, coming up through the ranks with George Lucas himself. You know, it's like you can't walk away from that experience without you know, becoming a better storyteller for it. So I think that we're all really lucky in that aspect, that George Lucas took the time to like mentor somebody and to kind of pass the baton the way he did with Dave.
Yep. And you know, I feel that same way with Kathleen Kennedy personally. Like, George set out a mission to bring a story that he felt needed to be heard at a time that it wasn't being told. And honestly, I think that's what Kathleen Kennedy's doing. She's bringing a voice to a huge group of people that she felt were being, or people felt were being ignored for too long, and it's being met with some resistance. I think that resistance is really slowing down. I think, there's still the people out there that get too much attention, but for the most part, I feel like some of that kind of hostility is like not even remotely accepted anymore, like by a lot more people. You
Yeah.
know, you, which is great.
It evolves, it's like there was, for the longest time, there was so much hate with the prequels, and it was just kind of the cool thing to talk shit about the prequels. And it's like we're at a point now, at least for the most part, I think, where it's like, yeah, I don't want to hear it, man. Like, it's not cool to knock on the prequels anymore, and you just sound old when you do that, and you sound kind of out of touch. So I'm hoping that someday that will get to the point, because like the prequels offered something. Yeah, like, they may not have offered what you wanted or what you liked, but they offered something to somebody. And I think that I'm hoping that maybe someday we'll get there with the sequel trilogy, and some of the other things that maybe people haven't come around on yet.
I mean,
But yeah.
I hope so, because even today, like I think it was a few weeks ago, I posted a picture of some dope ass like Phantom Menace poster that I hadn't seen before. I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. And then there's just the stupid well, doesn't make up for a dumpster fire of a movie. And I think I responded like, I think it's a bonfire of joy personally. Well, you must be a new fan. I'm like, well, why would that matter? Because you
Mhm.
can be a fan for 40 years or for 40 minutes. It doesn't make anyone better than or less than.
Right.
Like, and I was like, uh, but no, I've been around since like the beginning, and I loved it back then too. And now
Right.
it's like, to me back then, it's less now, but all the arguments against the prequels were all people used all these things that we only learned about in the prequels. None of that was ever in the original trilogy. And I'm like, you're really whatever.
Yeah.
I hope to get there with the sequels too. Like I'm even coming around to The Last Jedi, or to The Rise of Skywalker, which I did not like.
Oh, see, I
Like
thought you did. I thought you were one of those that was like kind of always defending it. Are you not?
I did. Well, I went through the 7 stages of grief. I literally went. It was all, yeah. I loved it because it was a new Star Wars and it was great. And then I
Yeah.
watched it and I was like, oh god no, oh god no. Then I got mad at like, not mad. That sounds. I haven't shaved. I actually have neck hair going on right now, so I need to be really careful. Now I'm actually really upset at Finn and Poe, like those how they were treated, because I think the actors played into it. I think those actors, those people were together. As far as the actors were concerned, I think that's how they portrayed it. I just
Mhm.
watch it now. I'm like, oh, they're legit, like 100% a couple. And I get really upset with Zori Bliss because I feel like she was this very like homophobic insert that didn't need to be there. And then it was
Yeah.
straight people who put her in there. And just because you're a guy who might be interested in a girl does not make you any less queer than someone. Like that was just like stupidity
Yeah,
and
they were just
ignorance.
like, we have to make sure that nobody thinks he's like, we have to be like no homo about this. And it's like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, in 29, what was it?
Yeah.
What year was it? 2019? Like, come
Hmm.
on.
And I got mad. And I think for a second, I was excited about the kiss at the end because it was a kiss. And then I'm like, no, like I'm done being okay that you gave me something. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, it was really insulting that you just I was more intrigued, and I appreciate the gay porgs in The Last Jedi that were never talked about more than those two ladies. Like, that was like, hey, I see you, and here's, I can't do what I want to do, so I'm going to give you this. That's how I read it. But the other one was just like, I gave it to you, so shut up. Like, I call it a shut up kiss. But then beyond that, then the story I was like, oh God, no, this is just not working. I'm fine with Palpatine. It will always have given me Rey Skywalker. I'm a huge Rey Skywalker fan. I respect people that don't because I can see where they're coming from. It's just not. But now. Anyways, but I'm getting more into it. We were just talking the other day about it, Anakin's attachment and the lack thereof, the teachings and all these things. And I'm like, oh, so I kind of like that everything fell apart because the Jedi told him he couldn't love this person that he loved. And so an empire was created. And now we have attachment for these two people who kind of love each other that actually brought it all back. And I was like, oh, I kind of like that balance. And I never really like totally put it all together. So I'm finding a different kind of appreciation for it.
That's fair, I think. I think like I've had to watch that movie a lot more times than I would like to have otherwise. And every time I watch it, I find, and I had this the first time I saw it, there are things that I like about it. There are components of the movie that I enjoy. There's some big picture stuff I don't care for, but the Rey and Ben Solo stuff is one aspect of it that I really do like.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that point of, you know, how attachment came back around from being this destructive thing to like being like ended up sort of saving the day a little bit by the end of
Yep.
the movie. So I think that there's value to be found in it, but it just is one of those where you can see like the studio executives making the movie. And like I think I have put a lot of hate on JJ Abrams, and maybe that's rightfully so, but like then I go back and watch like The Force Awakens and I'm just like, this movie's so fucking good. This movie is
Mm-hmm.
so good. Like, how did you go from this to that? I will never understand. And that's the only way that, like, one of the only ways I can justify it was them wanting to appease a certain sect of the fandom, and that not necessarily coming exclusively from him, you know?
Yep. Yeah, it felt very safe. And like I said earlier, to like, I missed the middle finger. I don't want a safe Star Wars. Like, I'm not interested
Yeah.
in a safe Star Wars.
The story had no courage of its conviction whatsoever.
No. It just felt like it was, 100. I couldn't said it better. Yeah, it's never felt comfortable with itself. It was constantly trying to like.
It's like, oh, we're gonna kill
everywhere.
Chewie. Oop, no, we're not gonna kill Chewie. Like, oh, we're gonna do this. Oh no, we're maybe not gonna do. Like, it's just, it's just come
Even
on,
Palpatine.
man.
I think Palpatine could have worked. I feel like he could have worked, but maybe introduce him not in the first 30 seconds, like build into it within the movie. Like maybe the last act, we see him for the first time and have all that, but work towards that could have worked. We don't need to go
No.
down Anti-Rise of Skywalker.
Why go there?
But I'm hoping maybe like some of these things will recontextualize how we see that too. Like Bad Batch started to go in there, Mandalorian looks like Snoke, in jars. Like maybe we can start filling in the pieces that helps the movie within Star Wars.
Exactly.
That's what I'm leaning towards. Hopefully we'll get some of that in the Book of Boba Fett. Now that we know that, like, I like that little line in the Bad Batch. He's Alpha. Like, oh, that just added a layer of Boba that I don't know what to do with, but that's cool. And it was really nice seeing aliens like all over. I've missed that.
Yeah.
Like
that and I understand that that's like hard to sort of do in live action versus animated. Like it's a lot more work and it's probably really uncomfortable for the people underneath all those prosthetics and makeup. But yeah, it's one of those things that makes Star Wars, is like the unusualness of it. And I miss that too. I totally understand that.
100%. Let's get weird. Like I wanted the bog monster. I know I just said we were going to leave the Rise of Skywalker, but I'm sorry. I wanted that. Like I wanted the weird spider baby. Like what the heck was up with that? Why didn't you give me that?
100%.
Would I stand for Borgullet. Borgullet was amazing. Like why use a mind reader droid when we have a creepy tentacle monster? Like give me the creepy tentacle monster.
Right? I'm not opposed to that.
Where do you see, or where do you want to see the future of Star Wars going? Because we have so much going on now. There's going to be something for everybody, hopefully. And I need to, I'm of the person who needs to get used to that something might not be for me, and that's going to be okay.
Yeah. I think a lot of people could come around to that idea for the most part. I don't know necessarily where I see it going. I've kind of been fairly happy with like the content that we've gotten. So I sort of hope that we just kind of stay on a trajectory of up and up on that. I do think that Star Wars Visions was a really interesting step in a really interesting direction. And I kind of hope that maybe they choose to build on that a little bit. And I'm not even sure exactly what that means, but just like the unique forms of storytelling that they could take on in the Star Wars, universe, I think is just something that's worth exploring. The High Republic is like my favorite thing right now. I think it's the best thing happening in Star Wars at the moment, and it makes me really, really excited to keep reading these Star Wars novels to like see where this goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited just to continue to stay on that road. I could, if it was just that, I would be totally fine, Like it's that good.
It really is great.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we all know there's way too much heartbreak ahead of us.
Oh yeah, it's gonna.
But that's
suck.
also Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited to see how. I don't. Maybe you feel this way because I know a lot of like I don't need a 1-to-1. I don't need to see the High Republic on a screen necessarily. What I would like to see is maybe acknowledging that was like a way the Jedi were once perceived, and maybe in other different media, like in the future, like Rey, we'll just go with her, like her trying to bring back some of those ideologies back into what the Jedi are and kind of reclaim and step back to where they were and acknowledge some of those stories in that sort of way,
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't necessarily need it on screen either because I think you run the risk of running into that thing I think a lot of people ran into with the audio drama where they were just like, oh, that's what that person sounds like? Okay, that was a choice. And I kind of understand that sentiment, but I've also been listening to the audiobooks all along.
Yep.
So I'm also like, I knew exactly what to expect for the most part. And I pretty much got what I expected for the most part. Not 100%, but in a lot of ways. And I think that it's a lot riskier to make that jump from page to screen in that sense. And also like alienating people if you're not going to like cover all of your bases of like what exactly has happened up until this point and who are these characters and why am I supposed to care. And Star Wars does a good job of keeping those fans up to date that aren't necessarily reading all of the material. Like I shouldn't be concerned about that, but I am a little bit. It's a lot of material that they'd have to cover,
I 100%. I love that they're doing like the High Republic show. Like they're making it still like it's still a really big deal, and they're putting a lot of stuff behind it. And yes, you can even watch the High Republic show, and I feel get some idea of what's going on. Like you're in the pool of like, oh, okay, this is what's happening in Star Wars right now. I don't need to know anything else. Okay, there's somebody who's serving buckets of blood. I don't know what's going on with that, but I like to hear buckets of blood in Star Wars.
Oh, good times.
Yes, very
the
good.
Republic's so weird and good.
Do you have like a favorite Star Wars character or movie that's changed in this last few years of podcasting? Has podcasting shifted the way you look at Star Wars and like changed some of those? Not necessarily change, but you've garnered newness.
I don't know if it's necessarily like podcasting has changed. I think like talking with Alice as frequently as I do has changed a lot of how I sort of perceive Star Wars, just because she's such a prequel fan and I didn't grow up with the prequels and I don't have quite as close a connection to them as she does, but it's really helped me sort of be able to see them in a different light, in a new light, and I really appreciate that. So that's a big thing that has kind of changed for me. I don't know if I've necessarily had the same effect on her because I just kind of enthusiastically and unabashedly love what I love. Yep. And I don't necessarily, I feel like Alice has become a very good, like sort of prequel apologist, or, someone who will, she's persuasive in that sense. Which but just because she loves it that much and is that enthusiastic about it. So that's probably the number one thing that has changed. It's just been like how I watch and interpret the prequels and how I'm able to sort of glean what, what they contributed to the universe as a whole.
Alice is so like, she brings this like, this attitude of if I have to. She just kind of walks in and I'm not going to make a scene, but I'm here to have a good time. And then drops these bombs. You're like, oh, you really know your shit.
Yeah.
Like she does not present herself like you would think she would.
That sums her up perfectly, I think. Like, yeah.
Which is great. It's such a great way of people listening to you.
Yeah.
Because like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to lie. Like we never did trivia. I was really intimidated. Like, I love listening to I fail every single one. And like, it intimidates me. And it's not less now, but like when I meet people like you who are like trivia masters, because I'm like, this makes me sound like I don't know anything about Star Wars to a lot of people. And it's a weird feeling, you know? Uh, I've changed because now we do trivia more because I don't know, people seem to really enjoy it. And I think they mostly like to laugh at us fall on our face because I don't know.
We get lots of stuff wrong on our show too. I mean, like not even in trivia, like we'll just call people by the wrong names and shit, or call things by the wrong names, and it's part of the game, you know.
It's true.
It's fine.
Like, I don't know if you know Marie Wilson, but she is like newer to Schmoedown, right?
Yeah, she was a rookie this year, but she's
Yeah.
been doing the Dragon Con game for a long time, I
Yep.
think, right?
Yeah, so we had her on a few weeks ago. And it was like, it's just so funny because you like, and I've heard you do it, like, especially I've heard it in the podcast, like when you're getting closer to a game, like you get really hard on yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's just, like, because I am not that. I'm like, whatever. And I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate the time that has to go in to understanding trivia the way that you do. Because, like,
I appreciate
don't.
that. It's a lot of, because it is a lot of time. It's a lot of like time and energy and commitment and sacrifice and saying no to things that I wish I could do, but I can't because I have committed to the Schmoedown for some reason. So it's a lot of work, and that's why the off season is such a reward. And I don't, you know, I opened the season. This year was the first match of the year was me versus Molly, and normally I wouldn't have to play the entire year. I wouldn't have to be on for the entire year. And so this was they, you know, committed to doing so many X amount of matches every week, and it brought Star Wars to the forefront a lot more than it has in the past, and there were a lot more matches, and it was just a really, really long season.
Was it fun? Like being, or were you like, ooh, I need to.
No, it was because I had a new manager this year. I had a new team, and that's like one of the best things that's come out of the faction system that they input in. That would have been season 7, so last year, was like that team component of the whole thing. There's just a lot more sense of camaraderie and like getting to actually study with like different people. They bring different things to the table, and different attitudes. And Winston Marshall, who was my manager this year, I mean, his whole thing was like, what can I do to make this better for you, to make the game go better for you? And it was just like, you just need to keep me relaxed. If you keep me laughing, it will keep me relaxed. And he's naturally just an absolutely hysterical person, so it worked out really well. In that sense of it, it was still fun, and I had a lot of fun, like getting to hang out with a new group of people and, you know, basically get out of, you know, a sort of different study vibe than I did in previous years. And next year it'll be different again, and I'll get as much value out of it as I have in the years past, and it'll just continue to be this really fun thing of continuously getting to know this community as it grows and grows.
That's a really great attitude, actually, to have too. Because like, I don't understand how any of it works. I'm not going to pretend to. I don't watch wrestling. I hear managers, and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is great. Like, I listen to it through Force Toast. That's how I know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really, it's awesome. And so Schmoedown brought you to John Roca and the Jedi Way.
It did.
That's been 1 year. Right? Roughly, a little more?
we've been doing it for about a year, and it's funny that you bring that up because he sent me a picture of the poster for Schmoedown Spectacular from 2 years ago, and he and I are both on the poster, and he's like, did we meet in 2019 in Spectacular? And I was just like, honestly, dude, I don't think so. I'm like, I don't, like, if we did, I don't remember, and I'm sorry, but I don't think that we did, because it was just that was that much of a thing. It was until next year, I think, when I cut my first promo, that I got his attention through that, and that's when it was a couple months later that he reached out to me about starting the show, and
That's
it's worked out really well. It's been fun.
What has that process been like, from going from just audio to now being on camera? And you help out on the other show from time to time too, right? I know he's got a bunch. I shouldn't say that other
Oh
show.
yeah, no, Geek Buddies. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
there we go. Thank
I
you.
was doing a little bit of stuff with them when Loki was airing because that show was incredible. I just rewatched it this past week and it's so good. Yeah, so I was doing Bad Batch reviews with them for a little while, and they're such a fun group of dudes. But it's been a lot of fun, and John Roca is great, and it was definitely an interesting process having to go from like audio to video. I mean, it was just I felt very out of my depth, and to this day I still kind of do, but like it's so much more work. It's so much more work to like, and part of me was prepared for it because I had been doing virtual matches from my bedroom for the Schmoedown, and so I had like, some idea of what I wanted everything to look like. But I mean, like, I had to buy lights, and I am still using my same microphone, but it's like I have to spend all this time like putting makeup on and like making sure my hair doesn't look like shit. And I have like I just like that's when you start to notice things where you're just like, cool, I have one eye that's like way bigger than the other, and that's so annoying for me to watch. And it's just it's little things like that they start to pile on, and you're just like, why the fuck am I doing this? But it's so much fun, and that's his medium, that's his channel, and it's afforded me more opportunities to get to know and meet more interesting people and get to talk Star Wars with different people, and I'm forever grateful for it because I have a lot of fun getting to talk about this stuff with John because we come from such different places when it comes to Star Wars, but we can still have like a civil conversation, it's I think it's just something. It's definitely different. Like Alice and I come from different places in the Star Wars fandom, but like John and I are like coming from different planets. Like it's just different, and it's fun, I think.
It's been great. It's been great as a viewer to like listen to one version of, not a different version of you, but like one perspective, and then it's just different. And you talk about, and you get to talk about things in a different way than you do on the podcast. And
I do. We get into a lot more deeper conversations, I think, on the Jedi way, whereas Alice and I think tend to keep things a little bit more like surface level isn't quite the right word, but like a little more loosey goosey. We tend to go on tangents about other and get distracted really easily. And Alice that's not really her vibe, is like getting into like the really deep meanings and the like emotions of things. Like that's not really what she's in it for. So it's just, it is kind of different. Also, I feel like sometimes when I'm on the show with John, I think some pressure to be a little bit more like stay more positive than maybe I otherwise would on Forced Host, where I'm hiding behind a microphone and you can't see my face, so I can kind of say whatever I want. And with John, when my face is part of it, I feel more pressure, I think, to be like, to stay positive. But it's not something that has really put like it hasn't had a ton of influence on like what I say and don't say. It's just more of like a spin thing, and I think that's sort of like relaxed more as I've gone. Hopefully, maybe not, but hopefully. A lot of times it depends on the topic,
But you're like, y'all are always positive. There's a way to disagree with things or not like things and not trash on it.
Yeah, and not be like a toxic person about it.
Yeah, like I feel like your show is a very welcoming place, that you don't feel like, if I don't, because I think we've all listened to those podcasts before, Star Wars or not Star Wars, seen those YouTube things where you're like, I don't think I agree with you, and I'm not sure if you would still talk to me if I didn't agree with you. There are those vibes that people put out sometimes, and you can watch these people for a long time sometimes, and you're met with that moment. You're like, I'm hearing this because I don't agree with you. I hear your voice completely different than I have before.
I think you're right, and I think that I really like that about, and that's not to say that like we're not positive on Forced Toast, because we are. I think sometimes there's a little bit more brutal honesty out there than there is with the Jedi way, but I think you're right, and I take a lot of pride in that people find it welcoming, because the way that like I think people approach me because of that, like I totally get that sense of things, and I hope that I can kind of continue that. I would never want to make anybody feel excluded, whether they have a different opinion than me, or they don't love something as much as I do, or in the same way that I do. Like I hope that that's something that I can continue to be conscious of to make sure that that's the content that at least I'm putting out there,
Yep.
regardless of what show I'm on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there too. We just celebrated 2 years, and I feel like we're bigger than we obviously used to be, and we're not gigantic by any means, but I don't think I ever thought that we would have the amount of listeners that we do and the interactions that I
Hell
now get to have. I never would have dreamed, because one, we're gay, and I just live in a time when that was not okay for so long that I still have that. I still wear those glasses sometimes, which I should really learn to take off, but can't always,
Yeah.
And we do get really deep down and in the weeds of like, and that's not everyone's jam.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, but there are more people. And I'm a pretty opinionated person. Like, I'm pretty open with how I feel about things, and on after everybody is. But I think somehow I found all these people, and we disagree on Star Wars more than we agree on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, when you two do that, it makes it a more you know what I mean? It's just nice. And to hear those conversations, you're like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
And sometimes it's like, yeah, I understand your point and I respect that. And some of it is just like, okay, well, I don't get where you're coming from at all, but that's fine. Let's move on. And it's like, it can be that simple,
Yep. Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think, like, for me, I think Star Wars, it's changed for me a lot because I've never had to share it before. And so I don't know. I appreciate it more. In a way, I appreciate it even more than I did, because it's brought me people that I didn't think I would. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have goals as we wrap this up here for you're going to be getting into your third year in February, right?
Yeah, that'll be three years we've been doing it. But yeah, no, not really. I mean, part of it is like we've been, for the last like 2 years, we've been wanting to like get a merch store launched, and we just like have not had taken the time to make it a priority. And I deeply regret that, actually, because I really, it would be great to be able to have like shirts or something, even so that I can just like buy everything and like give them to my family members for Christmas and be like, I'm sorry, you have to wear this at some point, and I need you to take a picture every time you do so that I know you're wearing it. But so like that's kind of my biggest regret, and one goal that I have and that I have had for 2.5 years, is to get that up and off the ground. But no, in terms of like, numbers, like I used to look every time we had a new episode come out. I haven't looked in weeks to see like, or really months, to see like how what we're doing numbers wise in terms of downloads of the show. It's just not important to me anymore. So whether we've grown or not, which we probably haven't, and that's fine. A lot of times it's not even dependent on us. It's like, it depends on what's going on in the fandom. If there's a new movie coming out, then yeah, a lot more people are going to be listening to Star Wars podcasts. But when it's really just books that we're getting all the time, like, yeah, viewers, like listeners, ship is going to drop off, and that's okay. And that's fine. We still get to talk about whatever the fuck we want, and that's kind of the whole point. So
like, you have a really loyal fan base, because you can hear it when you're talking today, and you hear it in the show. Like, a lot of people write back and forth, and like, it's been so fun. It's one of the things from the live streams that like we do here. It's so nice, and to see a new face in the steam room, and you're like, oh, and then when they get you right away,
yeah,
like, oh, that's been like super, super, super rewarding for me, is just to like build those relationships and have conversations with people that you didn't think you would. Like, just today, I recorded a show, and I'm sure you felt this way. I mean, I would have to think like that was not good, and you're like, oh God,
yeah,
this was.
No, I've definitely had that. Like, there have been episodes where I've messaged Allison when I'm editing, and I'm just like, this is excruciating. Like, we have no energy in this. Like, we really need to like make sure that we're pumping ourselves up at our next episode. Like, I've totally been there. Like, if I don't want to listen to this, how is anybody else going to want to?
That energy, 100%. Like, when Tom and I are in this office sitting right across from the table, like, it's so easy because we just live edit. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
But like, we can pump each other up. And I always joke that first 30 seconds sometimes takes us like 40 minutes because we're like, oh, the energy's off. Oh, that's bad. Oh, can't say that. Oh, we don't want that to go out there forever. Whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Well, and like, Alice and I used to, like, when we would record in person, we would have like dance parties before. Like, we would like turn on music and just dance to like silly throwback music to like get
Mhm.
ourselves excited. And I'm like, we don't have that anymore because we're not in
Yep.
the same room. So you have to like find other ways to like bring the energy to like keep yourself going, keep yourself excited. Otherwise, it just like is not enjoyable to listen to. And or maybe it is for some people. I don't know who, not me,
Yeah.
certainly, but yeah.
Like I just did that. I just got an email from someone because I was beating myself up, and I maybe beat myself up too much. It's like 2 weeks later. I'm
Oh,
just
we
like,
all do,
man,
we
I
all do
let these
it.
people down, and this is awful. And I've got co-hosts now that I have to make sure, all of it. Great, and like and you're like, oh, okay, it was nice when you hear those like positive things about something you thought was so bad. But that's so funny. Like we now go on at 9 p.m. on Fridays, Arizona time, because Mark is in California and they're an hour early. And
Mhm.
this last few weeks, I'm like, oh my God. Like during the pandemic, I was working from home and I didn't start my day until 9 a.m. I now am at work at 6:30 a.m. Like that's my time. So I'm like out of the house by 5:45. So like
Oof.
I am in bed at like 8:30.
Yeah.
9 is too late. Like I'm cranky land the next day if I go to bed at 9. And now I have a show to start at 9 p.m. It is so hard.
Yeah.
Because if
I'd
I
be
amp
like pounding Red Bulls at like 5 p.m.
if I'm too amped and the show's over at 10:30, I'm up till 2 in the morning and then it ruins my whole weekend. So I'm like, oh God. That is a very real thing. That is a
Yeah.
very real yeah.
I would say it's about finding balance, but I don't know how you find balance in that. I'm not sure what the answer is there.
Haven't found it yet.
Yeah. Keep looking.
But like you have to, on a podcast, I feel like you have to be pumped even more because it's only your voice expressing anything. So you really do have to like be like
Yeah.
even more on. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Anyways, thank you. This was so great. One last question.
Sure.
What is the next thing you are most excited for coming to Star Wars? We had the talk of big things and you're mighty fine in the High Republic, but is there one thing that you know is coming out that you're the most stoked for?
Oh, it's hard to narrow it down to one because my short-term answer is probably Ahsoka. I'm really excited for the Ahsoka show, and to figure out what's going on with Ezra and Thrawn because I love Thrawn. Ezra, I'm indifferent to, but I'm hoping that he'll be cooler when he's older. But long term, the Acolyte is the thing that I'm most excited for because part of it is that it's like this mysterious thing that we don't know anything about, but we know that it's supposed to take place at the end of the High Republic. And I'm like, here is my heart. Please rip it out of my chest and eat it in front of me because I know that's what you're going to do. So let's just get to it.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm like 100%. It's the thing we know nothing about.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the gayest thing Star Wars has ever given us. There is absolutely no way that show is not going to have like legit like queer representation. Like it's just not. I mean, she's come out and said it's going to be very queer Star Wars, and I'm with you that we know it's going to be a heartbreak. And I'm biased. I'm gay, so like, but no one can tell heartbreak and have a good time than gay people. Like we are the best at it. You go to any disco club or a rave or whatever, and it is like the most gut-wrenching songs, and sometimes there's like hot dudes crying and dancing all at the same time. Like it is like we're the best at it. So like let's share our queerness that way and like heartbreak but have a good time. Like
let's just vomit emotion. That's
yes.
what this is gonna be.
Yeah. And it's gonna yeah, I'm with you. Like
But I also think it's like gonna be weird. I mean, when you look at shows like I would need to go back and rewatch like Russian Doll just to like revisit this vibe that I'm kind of hoping that we're gonna get. Like I hope it's weird. And when you have someone like Dave Filoni in charge of things in Star Wars, like things are gonna get weird. So I don't know what influence he's gonna have on this show, if any. But even if he doesn't have any, I think I have full faith that Leslie Headland will bring the weird too. So I'm pumped.
I 100% agree. I think, yeah. And what, do we even know when it's out? Do you know when it's out? Have they even
No,
said? We have no
I
idea,
don't
right?
think that. Yeah, I don't think that there's any. I have to like look up and I need to sort of revisit her like IMDb or whatever and figure out like what is she working on now, and when can we think that it'll be done? And like I'm like try to gauge what the timeline could be on this, but because I think we're pretty far out still. I mean, like think about like all those announcements that we got at Investor Day in 2020 that we haven't heard anything about any of it. I mean, like the Lando show that they talked about, like we have nothing on that either. So we'll see. Who knows?
I'm still I want Rafa Marquez in that show.
That would be nice.
I need to see Rafa and Lando together.
Do we think that would the voice actors work? I don't know anything about the two voice actors that play them. Would they work as like live action?
So I also had the opportunity to speak with Bridget Colley, who plays Trace, because like that Marquez sister arc is probably like it's up there with my favorite of any of the Clone Wars. Like it was so good, it was so important. But I spoke to her mostly because Michael and like Latinx representation in Star Wars was like really. Anyways, she is so oh my god beautiful, like amazing, like really kind. Like still sends messages to check in on the kids. Like this a great human being, right?
Yeah.
But I was floored how beautiful she was. So I'm like, okay, yes. And then maybe that should not. That sounds so horrible. That should not be the standard to be able to get onto TV.
No, but I think that that's fair. I think that that's fair. I mean, like when I remember like the first time that I ever met like Jen Sturger in person at like the Schmoedown thing, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, like you are drop dead gorgeous. I'm like, I don't actually know what to say because I'm just staring into your eyes and I'm mesmerized. Like I hear you.
That's how I was with her, and it was very interesting. I'm like, what? I have never had these feelings. What is going on? No, kidding.
Well, I'm
maybe
feeling
not
really
kidding.
great about the fact that I rolled up here in my pajamas with no makeup on, and I'm just like, oh, maybe I should put some effort into this.
I can't tell you the kinds of feelings I have because that would be very awkward. So I'm really just not going to share those things. But possibly after that interview, then paired with this one, I might go get myself a buy flag to put on my computer. Never had one before, but I might do it now.
Why not? Just have all the flags. If you have a house, I don't have a house. I can't have flags. I could put flags in the window, but for now, it's just Black Lives Matter signs.
That's great. Love it. We just had someone tear one down from our neighbor's house a few months ago. It was awful.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
yep.
Fuck people.
So my neighbors put it back up and then put a gay pride flag up in there. I was like, yes.
Good. They understood the assignment.
They did. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate this so much. Where can people find you if they haven't already found you?
Come find me on Twitter. That's the best place to contact me. My handle is shutup_Laura, and I am often just tweeting about silly Star Wars stuff. And then the show, Force Toast, A Star Wars Happy Hour, you can find that on Twitter at Force Toast Pod. And all the places that you can listen to our show, you can find a list of that on our website. That's forcetoastpod.com.
Fantastic. Thank you again. And maybe in another year, we'll be doing this again.
Let's not wait that long, shall we?
Okay. Actually, we'll see each other in Celebration. Fingers crossed. Right?
We will.
Yes.
Yeah. May
and
2022. All the fingers crossed.
If there's one person I can roll up, be really socially awkward with, I'll know it'll be you because you'll understand.
Yes. Please do. Yeah. We'll just sit in the corner and be awkward together. It'll be lovely.
There we go. I like that. I like it. All right. Thank you. And
we're back.
We're back.
We are back.
That was a really good time. I love me some Laura Kelly. She's really, really fantastic. And I'm sorry you didn't get to say hi.
I'm sorry, I was working.
You were. You planned on saying hi. You were excited to say hi.
But sometimes...
Then those damn clients got a call.
I gotta see a house. Just kidding. I do love what I do.
Just not when it gets away of Laura Kelly.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know if the listeners know. I think we've said this before. She's the one who coined you casual fan at best.
Yes, she is. She gave me my crown, my title.
I like your crown.
She was our first, if you recall.
She was. We had people that we already knew.
Okay.
She was our first person that we did not know. She
Correct.
and Alice. And that was a really good time back then. I was like, oh, God. Back then, I left my speakers on. There was an echo. I did not know what I was doing.
The good old days. There was a lot of fun with that.
Sometimes I'm still not sure I know what I'm doing.
Oh, honey, you do a really great job.
Thank you. I do think in the coming year, I'm going to make some changes to the show. Hopefully make it a little bit better than it is today. And I think it's pretty great so far. But I'm someone who can always be better.
God, I hope my contract gets renewed.
Oh, it'll definitely get renewed. I get to look at you sitting here. I mean, I know it's a visual or an
You're
audio
welcome.
podcast. Yeah. My husband's very handsome.
Oh, thank you.
And you know who else is really handsome?
You.
Din Djarin. I'm in love with my Din Djarin.
That you are.
And I'm really excited for the book of Boba Fett. I'm hoping that it's a Mandalorian 2.5. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but just in time for the book of Boba Fett, we're going to get another art book from Phil Stosak.
Cool.
Sostak. I don't know how to say his name. It's an S and a Z and an O and an S and a T and an A and a K. But anyways, I did get this little press release from Lucasfilm. It reads like this. Next month, Abrams will be publishing The Art of Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 2. Abrams, December 14th, 2021. It's going to be available on hardcover for $40. It's a perfect gift for fans who want to take a deep dive into that hit series. I'm only reading that right now, Thomas.
You're buttering me up because you think you're going to go out and get it. That's why. Oh, you want it for Christmas.
I want Santa to bring it. Santa finished with the kids. Can't Santa start shopping for Daddy? I'll sit on Santa's lap.
Ay, 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 ay. I got nothing, oddly enough, for that one.
Well, with that, I'll also sit on your lap, Din Djarin, anytime you need to. I'm here. I'm talented. You'll enjoy yourself. Leave the helmet on. It'll be even better. Anyways, with that, thank you for listening. And I promise we aren't going to be missing any more weeks unannounced. We will be back next week. And we're going to start to talk about Boba Fett. Tom's going to watch some Clone Wars with little baby Boba, a.k.a. Alpha. Thank you, The Bad Batch.
I look forward to it.
It's going to be great. You did enjoy the Clone Wars.
I do love the Clone Wars.
So in the meantime, you can go ahead and follow us on both Instagram and Twitter, mostly Twitter, at Serving Pink Milk. We are on TikTok at Serving Pink Milk. Not super active there yet, but we're going to get there. Also, please, if you can, be like our friend Joey. Leave a review on Apple Music. It really does help the show grow. And we're year 3.
Thank you, Joey.
It's time. Let's level up. Share, retweet, tell your friends. Tell anyone, even if they're just a casual fan of Star Wars. I'm telling you, this is, you know it, you listen to the show. It is an accessible Star Wars podcast, even for casual fans. We celebrate them. From a fan of 40 years to a fan of 40 minutes, you got a place right here. That's almost as good as talking Star Wars.
Actually, that was really good.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Okay, again, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Serving Pink Milk. And until next week, Thomas, are you ready?
I am ready.
It's that time to drink up.
Drink up.